What's up, guys? Chris Teutsch here, Hustling for Happiness. We have an email. So let's get into this, and yeah, hopefully I can give you guys some value today. All right, so hey Chris, so I'm going through a rough time. I was recently laid off from my well-paying job, and I'm working at McDonald's at the moment. I feel awful and terrible. I feel so far away from my dreams, and I feel so low and so depressed, more depressed than I've ever been in my entire life. I felt like I was getting close to my dreams, and now I just feel like it's slipping away. Any advice that you can give would be greatly appreciated. John, NYC. Okay. John, I'm going to tell you a little story, man. You guys know that I'm an actor, so I've done a lot of different research on my favorite actors and my favorite people, but here's a story. All right, there was a young actor, moved to LA out of college and got some work pretty quickly. He was working for some studios and did a couple television shows, and one day he gets pulled in by one of the head producers on the studio lot, and the producer said to him, he was like, "You're never going to make it in this business." And the young man was like, "Excuse me, what?" And he was like, "You're never going to make it. You're absolutely never going to make it. There was this one movie that I worked on, and Tony Curtis was playing a grocery delivery boy. And you took one look at Tony Curtis and you knew that was a movie star." And this person replied, "Oh, really? I thought he was supposed to be a grocery delivery boy. Sounds like a terrible actor to me." And the producer kicked him out of the office and basically blacklisted him. So he didn't get any acting work. He didn't get any acting work for years. And it was destroying him, essentially, because he wasn't able to live out his passion. So he had to, because he had a kid at the time, he had a kid at a young age, he had to teach himself carpentry in order to make ends meet. And he literally went to the library, got books, taught himself the craft of carpentry in order to pay the bills, right? And his other friends, his other actor friends, started getting different work. And he's watching them rise. He's watching them achieving their dreams while he is, putting additions on houses and building decks. And then when they started getting television shows and movies and becoming, record producers and everything, they would call him up, not for work as an actor, but as a carpenter. So like, "Hey, I need you to fix my roof. Can you come over and do that? Hey, we want to put an addition on our house. Could you come over and do that since we know you?" So they weren't calling him for acting. They were calling him to be a carpenter. 13 years he did that. 13 years of no acting work. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So one day, as chance would have it, he is working on a door frame at Paramount Studios. And a professional acquaintance was coming in to run auditions for his new upcoming film. And he looks down at the carpenter and says, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm working, I've got to pay the bills." And he's like, "Oh, all right. Well, I'm about to run some auditions for my next movie. My reader didn't show up. Could you read the other actors who are auditioning?" The guy didn't even want to audition him. He didn't even want to audition the guy. And so he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I could take a break, not a big deal." And so he's going in and he's reading these other actors that are auditioning for this movie that this guy is running. And finally, by the end of it, the one guy who's holding the audition says to the carpenter, "Why don't you get up on camera? Let's have you read." So the carpenter reads for the role, and he nails it. And the producer holding the audition, George Lucas, says, "Well, Harry, what do you think? Do you want the role of Han Solo?" And that carpenter was Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford spent 13 years not living out his passion. And all he did was he just quietly never gave up. Ever. He was still in it. He was doing anything that he could to keep that going. But John from NYC, what I want that story to illustrate for you is, don't confuse who you are with what you do. And what you do is not who you are. Harrison Ford was always Harrison Ford. It's just nobody knew who the hell he was yet. He was always Indiana Jones. He was always Han Solo. He was always Jack Ryan. He was always those iconic characters that he went on to play. But he never threw in the towel, no matter how hard it got. Only getting paid $300 a week, $500 a week, doing carpentry work, and supporting his young wife and kid at the same time. He endured all of that hardship. He endured that pain of not being able to do what he wanted. His dream felt so far away. He was blacklisted. Nobody would hire him. No agent would take a chance on him. No casting director would call him in for auditions. Nothing. Nothing. He had nothing. He was doing nothing. 13 years later, he was finally able to break through. John, you have that same perseverance in you, man. And I get it right now. You are low. You are depressed. It happens. But this thing that you're going through, it is so beneficial. This hardship that you are enduring currently, of not being able to do what you want to do, getting laid off, working at a McDonald's, you know what? It's not okay right now. And that sucks. But there's this great saying, in the end, it will all be okay. And if it's not okay right now, then it's not the end. But do not ever confuse who you are with what you do. Because what you do is not who you are. You know what I mean, man? I hope this resonates with you, but what I want you to do right now, like, you're probably angry. You know, and if you're not angry, that anger will come. If you're depressed right now, fine, feel it. But then eventually you're going to get a little bit angry. And that anger is a step up from that depression. Use that anger. So then, like, yeah, you worked your 8 hours or your 10 hours, whatever it is at McDonald's. Then what are you doing outside of that time? We got 24 hours in a day. You sleep 6, you work 8. What about those other 10 hours that you have during your day that you could be working on your dream? Whatever your dream is, you need to tell me what it is. That's all right, it's yours. But those other 10 hours, that's when you go to town. You go home, you kiss your wife, you kiss your kids, you pet the dog, whatever it is, you have something to food, and then you go to town. On your dream, on what really matters. Harrison Ford went 13 years with nothing, man. And I guarantee you, if you let this click right now and you take that pain that you have of your current situation and you use it as motivation, you flip it, you recycle it so that it propels you forward, dude, you won't be at McDonald's long. I'm telling you right now, man. John from NYC, you're in New York. You're in the greatest city in the world, man. Everybody that is in New York, you got to be strong to survive. And if you're going to stay there, summon that strength. Think of this story about Harrison Ford. Because who you are right now, what you do right now, it's temporary. You're going to pull through it. Email me back, man. Let me know if this helps you. If this video helped you guys, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, hit me up with more emails. I always answer all the time. I'm answering people all the time. I love you all, and never ever forget that what you do is not who you are. Not at all. Keep hustling for happiness, people. Peace.